My name's Leigh Hart, born in Greymouth, New Zealand. Spent a lot of time overseas, sort of grew up in Christchurch, I suppose. Currently living in Auckland, making TV and doing a bit of radio. Interesting life, but someone's got to do it. I'd certainly call Christchurch my sort of formative years, you know, the sort of teenage years, etc. The schools I went to in Christchurch were, like say Christ College, was quite a very strict school then. So say rock and roll music or rock music was a real no-no. So I think what drew me to it was the fact that we were doing the wrong thing, you know, it's a subversive kind of attitude to it. And for me, someone who was kind of, as I say, anti-authority the whole time, I weirdly or perversely kind of really enjoyed it because it was so easy to do something wrong or get attention in a way. You know, so I got in a fair bit of trouble, but it's all sort of good-natured stuff. But again, I would almost call that performance, you know, showing off, that kind of stuff. Then I left that school and moved to Auckland, as everyone tends to do. You've got to move sort of North Wellington or somewhere, or probably Auckland to get work in TV. I was working at Greenstone as a sort of 9-to-5 job, but meanwhile Sports Cafe was on TV.
His first day on Sports Cafe was also my first day on Sports Cafe. So basically he came on as a reporter, I was employed as a full-time cameraman, and shook hands and kind of took off from there. We both wanted to take the mickey out of TV in a way.
And that's, so we got to the point where the very first speed cooking clip we ever did was a case of Brent and I sitting in my apartment. I didn't really feel like leaving the house, so we said, let's just do what could we possibly do as sport in this house right now without even leaving? And we said, well, let's pretend that cooking a meal in under 2 minutes was almost like an event. So that was the first speed cooking, and from then on, every second or third story was getting further and further away from any kind of sporting brief, really.
Well, Moon TV came about as an offshoot to Sports Cafe, where we both had a 4-minute story on Sports Cafe, which was good fun, but we knew we wanted to go in a different direction and take it further.
So we were starting to accumulate all this kind of irreverent, weird sort of footage, like speed cooking, a lot of stories that, you know, weren't even sort of sport related. You start putting them together, you've almost got a half hour of sort of a comedy show.
It came from wanting to mock what the current TV was, and one of the biggest things on New Zealand TV was motorway patrol. And we just thought Speedo Cops, that's where that evolved from, was why not just do a reality show, but they're all wearing Speedos, and never even focus on the fact they're wearing Speedos, focus more on the fact that they're idiot cops.
Word in your ear, sir. Is there any chance of getting transferred into the psychic division?
Well, are you psychic, Scott?
No, I'm not, sir.
Well, then no.
Thanks, sir.
That's why it was always good to have as much footage done up front and then edit, because then you go, shit, this is funny, but it'd be a lot funnier if we suddenly cut from that to this other random scene which has got nothing to do with anything. We've done 2 or 3 Speedo Cops. It'd be nice now to suddenly go to something a little bit more like a book zone, book times kind of thing, which is a little bit more, you know, yeah, intellectual. You know what I mean? And then so you can sort of use the pace, I suppose. You can edit the pace of it. If the more content you got lying there, you can pick up, you know, it's like Lego bits. You go, shit, that looks good. You get a kick out of yourself if you laugh, and you know, it sounds a bit stupid saying you're laughing at your own content. If you can't watch something back in editing and actually be semi-amused by it, well, that's probably not that funny. I mean, because if you don't find it funny, I don't think anyone else will. And I think you've got to trust that there's other people out there that will get it, and you just got to stick to your guns, because true to form, down the track, a lot of people that didn't get it so much then totally get it now. The shift to radio was pretty easy, really, because we'd kind of done it. Switching to radio, all that meant was you got to do more of it. You got to stretch it out more, and not you know, as opposed to a 5-minute sort of podcast, which is more like a comedy show. Everything is supposed to be funny. You're not going to be able to do that with the radio show. The ACC was kind of a link into it. I got approached to come on board with the ACC team for the last World Cup. It was great. With the ACC being an NZ me sort of concept or thing. They thought it would be great to keep Jason Leigh on air, you know, beyond cricket. So they gave us, I think it was a Saturday morning show. We did that, and then one thing led to another. A bit like with the TV, they said, "Do you want to do an hour every day?" I think it was, and then it eventually was the drive show. There's a sort of a 10% acting kind of thing, whereas opposed on TV, it's kind of 70-80%. The radio, it's probably about 20%. Just tuning it up a little bit to just make yourself sound stupid enough that people think, oh yeah, this is semi-interesting. Yeah, look, we're nothing without our fans here, and you never stop appreciating them, and it's really humbling to have such amazing fans out there, beautiful Kiwis, and we certainly don't take them for granted, and we're nothing without our fans, And
what would you say about people who really aren't a big fan of the show?
Well, they can pretty much just go fuck themselves, to be honest. I think with the whole social media Twitter thing and the PC line and all this sort of stuff, people are just too easily offended, I think, or trying to draw parallels between things that aren't really there. I've never said anything that I've been worried about, and I think I've been pleasantly surprised that nothing's come of it. And I can only suggest that it's because people don't take me seriously enough. Yeah. You choose to watch it or you don't,
Working with Leigh, everyone would think it would just be a bunch of laughs and laughing all the time, and most of the time it is. But Leigh actually takes his comedy really seriously, and he takes TV very seriously, and he puts a lot of thought into it. He'll stay awake at night trying to come up with ideas, and he will stress over a lot of it, but that's because he cares about it. He wants the end product to be something he's proud of. So yeah, that's the side of Leigh that people don't see.
I'd like to be remembered, hopefully, as I'd like to think I'm known now, which is, average Kiwi guy who has a bit of fun, and has a go. Quite a nice guy, have a bit of fun. That's about it.